Members of the public, this meeting is hereby called to order.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. In accordance with the Open Public Meetings Act, NJSA 1046 et sec, adequate notice of this meeting has been provided by advertising in the Star Ledger, El Nuevo Coquí, Haiti Progress, and Luz Americano newspapers, and by distribution to the administrative offices of the Newark Public Schools. A copy of the meeting notice was also forwarded to City Hall for posting. This is a regular advisory board meeting for Tuesday night, June 24, 2014.
Please stand for the flag salute.
United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Roll call of board members, please.
Mr. Hassan.
Present.
Mr. Jackson. Mr. Lewis.
Present.
Ms. Matthias. Dr. McCreary.
Here.
Vice Chair Perrella.
Present.
Mr. Rashidi.
Here.
Mr. Selinger.
Here.
Ms. Baskerville-Richardson.
Here.
Quorum is present, Mr. Chair.
Thank you, sir. We will now have greetings from the Westside High School leadership team.
For sure. I'm moving down this way a little bit.
Yeah, we need to be brushed all off.
Come and sit right here. I'm good. I think this was... I should have went to the back.
Good evening, everyone. Just wanted to welcome you all to the Westside High School campus and just quickly share some of the great things that have been going on this school year with students here at Westside from our community. One of the great things I believe that happened was Deja Dixon, and Deja, if you could come up. Deja Dixon submitted a, and just for 1 second, my name is Gary Beidelman, B-E-I-D-L-E-M-A-N, and I'm here with Deja Dixon, and I'm celebrating Deja Dixon right now. So if we could focus on Deja Dixon. We're gonna focus on Deja Dixon. Deja Dixon won 3rd place in the Go Viral Attend Today, Achieve Tomorrow poster contest. And this is Deja's submission. You 10th grade, Deja? And Deja's gonna be a 10th grader here at Westside High School, and we want to present her with a certificate along with a mounted copy of her submission. Next, I'd like to bring up another group of students. We have a partnership with the Capital One Bank here at Westside High School, and we have 2 groups of students who have one group that just finished the internship program, and another group that's entering the internship program. So I'd like to ask those students to join me on stage.
Hello, I'm Anand Gansam.
Hello, I'm Akua Barfi.
I'm Stephanie Augustine.
My name is Quinay Gillespie.
Dominique Butler.
My name is Deshauna Gittins.
My name is LaShawn Joseph.
My name is Chaz Kemp.
My name is Terrell White.
Hi, I'm Brittany Washington.
My name is Adamo Otaro.
And Quinay is just going to quickly just talk about what the Capital One program is. She's going into the Capital One and will be working at Capital One Bank this summer.
Good evening, everyone. Good evening, everyone. My name is Kwaneka Gillespie. I am an upcoming senior here at Westside High School. I am proud to be chosen for the Capital One Bank internship. My experience with the bank was I was very nervous. Like my interview, I was very nervous. I was interviewed by 3 people, and it was like nervous. I didn't know what to expect. They was asking me questions like after back to back, and I don't know. I'm very happy to be chosen. I want to thank everybody that helped me, my family, Ms. Jones, Mr. Monroe. Thank y'all.
And before the students leave the stage, Terrell just graduated from Westside, and he's just going to talk about how the experience going through the program helped him prepare him for college and life.
Good morning. Good afternoon, everybody. I just want to tell you a little something about how Capital One helped me actually grow up. It helped me grow up in so many ways because in the beginning, I wasn't doing what I was supposed to do until I started the program. So now I graduated and I don't even feel like I graduated at all. It feels like I just want to start everything over. I want to start from the beginning. And that's what commonly people that have fun usually do that. But I'm currently graduating from Westside High School. I'm going to become a college freshman at Essex County College. I'm going to go there for 2 years, and I'm going to transfer out and go to Rutgers University to study business. Thank you.
And we also want to recognize Ms. Mary Ann Matthews, who is the Capital One advisor, and we're very thankful for the partnership and for the support they're providing for our students. They also provide mentors for students, college counseling, intensive training in the summer to really prepare. And the jobs are like $11 an hour during the summer months. So they're really preparing them for college, preparing them for a career beyond high school. So thank you and welcome again to Westside High School.
Thank you. Before we proceed with our board meeting this evening, I would like to state for the record that members of this Newark Board of Education have publicly advised members of this community, members of the State Board of Education, and the Governor of the State of New Jersey, Governor Chris Christie, that we believe that it is extremely difficult for this Newark School District to be successful under the leadership of Superintendent Cammie Anderson. On various occasions, this Newark Board of Education has also stood against the renewal and extension of the contract of Superintendent Cammie Anderson. We believe that board members have delivered this message loud and clear throughout this administrative year. And we believe that as we continue to fight for local control, it's very important that we position ourselves as a board to effectively lead and govern this district, but more importantly, that we have an opportunity, not only as a board, but as a community, to not only give valid input, but to select the superintendent who will be put in place to lead the Newark Public Schools District. So please, let the record reflect the statement that had just been made in regards to renewal of the contract and into the regards of selecting a superintendent for the Newark Public Schools District.
Excuse me, sir. Point of order. Excuse me, point of order. Okay, I'm sorry, Chair Hassan, but I don't see anywhere on the agenda that the board president is making a statement, as had been in the past. On the agenda, I understand certainly that the chair has certain prerogatives. However, it is quite disturbing, and this is why I'm calling this point of order.
Excuse me, Madam,
Point of order, point of order. The point that you just made, Mr. President, the point that you just made.
Order, Chair.
I have the
Board
floor,
Member Baskerville
sir.
Richardson.
I
You
have
do
the
not
floor.
have the floor to speak.
I have the floor, sir.
As Chair, you have not been recognized and have not been given the opportunity to take the floor and speak. So I ask that you respect the authority of me as the Chair at this point in time. You do not have the floor to speak right now.
I made
So I'm asking
a
for
point of order. Point of order supersedes. Point of order supersedes.
Mrs. Baskerville Richardson,
Point of
you are
order
currently
supersedes. May we
out
please have a
of
judgment?
order.
May we
At
please
this
have a
point in
judgment from
time,
the parliamentarian?
Community members have stated and voiced their opinion to come
May
out
we
and speak
please
during
have
this
a
board
judgment
meeting.
from the
At
parliamentarian?
this point in time, I will ask, is there a motion from any board members at this point in time to change the agenda of the meeting?
I would like to
A
make a
point
motion.
of order.
I would like
Point
to
of
make a
order does
motion.
not need that. Point of order does not need that. Thank you for your support. Point of order does not need a motion.
Excuse me. All right. Can I have quiet for a minute, please? Board members, can I ask that you adjust your microphones to a reasonable length from your mouth so that the audience and our record takers can hear you? If you speak too closely into the microphone, they cannot hear what you are saying. The acoustics in this room are somewhat difficult. Was everybody able to hear me? Then that is the way I want board members, or I'm sorry, not I want, I would suggest that board members speak. Thank you.
Thank you. Point of order. A point of order does not need a motion. My point of order was that there was no, that the agenda does not contain a statement by the board chair as in the past, and that the point that the chair just took the liberty to make is out of order because the chair is 100% totally aware that what the chair just said is contained in a resolution that was prepared by board members to be presented today.
You're absolutely right. But as the chair, I do also have the discretion to make that statement. So point of order being at this meeting or all other future meetings is that a speaker of this board should be recognized by the chair. And Ms. Baskerville Richardson, you have not been recognized, so you are in fact out of order.
Point of order
again,
supersedes a motion.
Again, is there a motion from any board members to change the current of the agenda?
Motion to change
Is there a
the order of the
second?
program.
I'm sorry, what, to change it to
motion to
what,
change
sir?
the
To
agenda.
change it to what, sir?
Motion to change the order of the program.
To
Public
reflect.
recognition followed by public participation.
I'm sorry.
I'm sorry, can you repeat that, Mr.
Yes.
Rashidi?
Ms. Mohammed?
Excuse me, Ms. Muhammad.
Ms. Mohammed?
Yes, ma'am. Can we please have order? Can we please have order? For clarification for the public. Ladies and gentlemen of the public, my intent is to allow for public participation to occur before any other board business. That is the reason that the motion has been placed on the floor.
Excuse me, Chair Hassan.
Yes, Ms. B.A., Madam B.A.
Ms. Mohammed? Ladies and gentlemen of Workers United. Ms. Mohammed. See, they ain't gonna listen to me. Ms. Mohammed? Ladies and gentlemen of Unite Here, can I make a statement? Can I be allowed to make a statement? Ladies and gentlemen of Workers United, may I be allowed to make a statement? Ms. Mohammed? Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen of Workers United. I more than anyone else realize what you are protesting for today. I am not going to commit that the district is going to resolve your contract immediately. What I can say to you is that there have been several unions who have been at the board meetings protesting their contracts. We have just this week resolved the nurses' union. And I say that if you two don't shut the hell up. I don't care. Let me finish. So to that point, I am saying that there is movement with the unions that have not had a contract for 5 or 6 years. I will take, you can boo, you can do whatever. Ms. Mohammed, let me finish. To that end, excuse me, ladies and gentlemen of the audience, to that end, let me say that because there has been movement, it is hopeful that there will be continued movement and that the district will be negotiating with you in the very short future. I cannot tell you when because I do not have a date. But I will raise this to the superintendent's attention.
Ms. Wilson,
I cannot hear what Ms.
Wilson, I understand that you say that the mic is off. The mic is off. They're not going to turn it on. I understand you use the word hope, but today we cannot pay our bills, feed our children off of hope. That do not click with us. So as we stand here today, either you remove us because it will be no justice in here today. No peace.
Can we please have order? We're trying to allow members of the public the opportunity to speak. We cannot do so if we do not have order established. This is the last and final attempt to establish order. Members of the community, I do apologize. There was a motion on the floor to move up public participation to allow members of the community to speak out against the renewal of the contract of Superintendent Cammie Anderson, but we are unable to do so at this time, so we now have to adjourn the board meeting. Meeting is adjourned.
Madam Chair, point of order. He gotta have a more vote. Madam Chair. There have to be a vote to adjourn the meeting. You have to have a vote to adjourn the meeting. You have to have a vote to adjourn the meeting. You have to have a vote to adjourn the meeting. You have to have a vote to adjourn the meeting. Donald.
Where's our Terry?
Awesome.
established.
Miss Jackson, Miss Jackson, Miss Jackson, Miss Jackson, let me remind everyone of the appropriate protocol. 2 verbal warnings, okay? 2 verbal warnings. Thank you, Miss Jackson. Thank you.
Order has been established. We can now proceed with the board meeting as proposed
Chair.
in the current agenda item.
Mr. Chair,
Mr. Lewis.
I would like to make a motion.
Mr. Lewis, the floor is now open for a motion at this time. We want to proceed with the agenda to avoid any further interruptions. So at this time, I will ask for the approval of the minutes for the advisory board meeting that have been listed on the agenda. Do we have a motion for the approval of the minutes?
Let's have a motion for, to break it out by year. So a motion for the first 3, May 22nd, May 20th, and April 29th.
Motion to approve the minutes.
Mr. Rashidi, second.
I second it.
Ms. Perello, this is a motion to approve the first 3 batches of minutes, May 22nd, 2014, May 20, 2014, April 29, 2014, the top 3. Mr. Hassan?
Yes.
Mr. Jackson?
Yes.
Mr. Lewis?
Yes.
Dr. McCreary? Ms. Perello?
Yes.
Mr. Rashidi?
Yes.
Mr. Selinger?
Yes.
Ms. Baskerville-Richardson?
Yes.
Motion carries. Those minutes are approved. The second set of minutes? Is there a motion to approve the bottom 3, March 31, 2014, March 25, 2014, and March 24, 2014?
Motion.
Mr. Rashidi?
Second.
Second by Mr. Selinger. Again, this is a motion to approve the bottom 3 minutes, March 31, March 25, March 24. Mr. Hassan?
Yes.
Mr. Jackson?
Abstain.
Mr. Lewis?
Yes.
Dr. McCreary?
Yes.
Ms. Perello?
Yes.
Mr. Rashidi?
Yes.
Mr. Selinger?
Yes.
Ms. Baskerville-Richardson? Those minutes are approved.
We now have parent recognition from our Constituent Services Committee.
Okay, yes, good evening. Each day throughout the district, hundreds of parents are making a difference in our schools, supporting their children's.
Can we please have order?
Each day throughout the district, hundreds of parents are making a difference in our schools, supporting their children's academic successes by volunteering. The Newark Public Schools Board Constituent Services Committee wishes to recognize and express its appreciation to those parents and community members who devote their time, share their talents and resources with children, staff, and administrators to improve the quality of our schools and the lives of our children. Each month, this board will continue to recognize parents and guardians who support our district-wide parental involvement program, consisting of activities focusing on parenting, communicating, volunteering, learning at home, decision-making, and community involvement. Nominated by their child's school administration, we are proud to announce tonight's award recipients. The first one is Ms. Antoinette Allen, New Jersey Regional Day School. Ms. Allen is a truly wonderful addition to our NJRDS family. She has 2 sons in our program, which endears her to us even closer. Whether she's helping staff organize the parent room or just greeting parents as they enter, Ms. Allen lends a compassionate, caring, and patient ear to each individual she comes in contact with. We have watched her engage very shy parents, and when our event is over, they are smiling and seem more confident after she talks with them. She has collaborated with our PTO. Ms. Allen has helped parents with insightful solutions to sometimes very complex problems. At one of our workshops, she also demonstrated her ability to create a project and give the presenters ideas for future workshops. That's Ms. Antoinette Allen. Can we give her another round of applause, please? Our second recipient is Ms. Aura Davis, Harriet Tubman School. Mrs. Davis is a grandparent that volunteers her time to support the social and academic program at Harriet Tubman. She assists with our morning routines and lunch duty. Mrs. Davis acts as a mentor to students and voices her opinion at key moments to encourage younger parents to advocate for their children in a proactive manner. Mrs. Davis is an active member of her church, community, and the PTA. Can we give Mrs. Davis another round of applause, please? Okay. And the other parent who's not in attendance is Ms. Teresa Reddick from Miller Street School. All right, thank you so much, Mr. Chairman.
Mr. Chair. Mr. Chair.
1 second, Mr. Lewis. Mr. Lewis.
Mr. Chair, we have student recognition for next. Our student rep not here, so I wanted to add to the agenda a resolution saying no to Cammie Anderson renewal of her contract. I want to ask Vice Chair Ariana Perello to read the resolution and ask us to. So I would like to add a motion. I would ask for a motion to add a resolution to the agenda at this time.
So, Mr. Lewis, are you making the motion for the agenda also, sir?
Yes.
The motion has been made by Mr. Marquise Lewis. Do we have a second?
Second.
Who was that?
Second by the entire board.
I have Baskerville Richardson.
Read it.
All right, this is a motion to revise the agenda and add a resolution, Mr. Lewis?
Yes.
Okay. Chair Hassan?
Yes.
Mr. Jackson?
Yes.
Mr. Lewis?
Yes.
Dr. McCreary?
Yes.
Ms. Perrella?
Yes.
Mr. Rashidi?
Yes.
Mr. Sellinger?
Yes.
Ms. Baskerville Richardson?
Yes.
Motion carries, amending the agenda, adding a resolution.
And now the resolution states, whereas New Jersey Governor Chris Christie and New Jersey Education Commissioner Dave Hespe have chosen to blatantly ignore the desires and demands of the residents of Newark by renewing the contract of the State District Superintendent Cammie Anderson. And whereas we believe that it is impossible from the Newark School District to be successful under Cammie Anderson's direction, be it resolved that Newark Board of Education hereby opposes any extension or renewal of Cammie Anderson's contract, and in addition, we call for the immediate removal of Cammie Anderson and the appointment of the community superintendent, respectfully presented on June 24, 2014.
We have a motion to adopt that resolution.
Is there a motion to adopt the resolution? The first motion was to add it to the agenda. It's now been read. Is there a motion now to adopt this agenda?
I have Mr. Jackson.
Second.
Second by Perrello. It's a motion moved by Mr. Jackson, second by Ms. Perrello to adopt the resolution read by Ms. Perrello. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed or abstain? Motion carries.
Unanimously. We do not have a report of the student representative. I will briefly just give a report from the advisory board chairperson. So I just want to provide a brief update quickly. On June 4th, the New Jersey State Board of Education voted unanimously, passed a resolution returning fiscal control back to the Newark Public Schools District. We are currently in the process of drafting a transition plan in condition with the New Jersey Department of Education, which will actually outline that process, what it will look like for the district and this Board of Education moving forward. Some of the areas of concern were brought up on behalf of this Board of Education, really stemmed around some of the operational procedures in regards to the finances of this school district, also training initiatives so that every board member is up to speed and well-versed on the finances and the operation of this school district moving forward. We've also requested a forensic audit take place here in this district prior to that transition so that any areas of concerns or any issues can be brought to light prior to us actually transitioning in this position of local control in the area of finance. These are ongoing discussions, and we look to wrap up these discussions at the end of this month and bring forward a resolution from this board to formally accept it. So I will state at this point in time, in order to do so, we will have to have a business meeting in the month of July, and we will provide information to the community once that date has been decided. So ends the report of the advisory board chairperson. We now have voting items. Program and instruction, then finance and operations. Is there a motion to vote on all items under the umbrella of program and instruction?
Motion.
Is there a second? Second. Motion made by Khalil Rashidi, seconded by Phil Sillinger.
This is a motion to take all the program instruction items as one. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed or abstained? Motion carries. Motion to vote on the items?
Mr. Chair,
Mr. Lewis.
Finance, I know on finance we asked for additional information.
We haven't voted on the items yet.
Piece yet. We're just doing program and instruction. Is there a motion to now vote on the items for program and instruction?
Motion.
Motion made by Mr. Lewis. Do we have a second?
Second.
Second, Ms. Perello.
Okay, motion to vote on all program and instruction items. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed or abstained? Program instruction all pass.
Mr. Lewis, you had a question regarding the finance operation?
Yes, on finance P18, I know we asked for additional information. I'm not aware if we received additional information or not.
Item P18.
P18, the professional development for school leaders and teachers, renewal contract.
Yes, thank you, Mr. Lewis. It is a renewal of the contract. And your question is?
I know last week we asked for some additional information on it, as far as the providers. Did we get the information? Because I don't remember receiving the information.
I don't recall that being asked for, but what I do have is, I don't have multiple copies, but I have a summary of all of the curricular items, such as that. I'm looking for that particular one that I can share, and I will be happy to distribute this to the entire board. I did receive this week, so I don't think that one's on here because it's a renewal. What were your questions in association with this particular renewal? Mr. Lewis?
I didn't hear you. I didn't hear you.
What were your questions in regards to this particular renewal?
No, I just asked for the breakdown of the vendors and information on the vendors that was getting renewed, and I never received it. I asked that last week.
We did receive some questions from you, and it was my understanding, Ms. Merritt, can you confirm that we had supplied all of the information that was asked for? I honestly, if I've missed it, then I apologize, but I honestly don't recall that particular question.
A question, Chair Hassan, was that particular item, was that the item that was pulled because of the affiliation with Amplify? Is that the same item?
No, it is not. This particular renewal has to do with Youth Build and Big Picture, two programs that have been of long standing in the district and have been used in our alternative ed programs. The total for this particular item is $214,000, with a breakdown of 85 for Youth Build and 129.5 for Big Picture. These are programs that have been used in both our credit recovery, dealing with students who are not part of the regular track, may have dropped out, may have to do additional credit recovery things of that nature.
Thank you.
Okay.
Are there any other questions regarding item P18?
I don't have it on here. That's a problem.
Do any board members have any other questions regarding the finance items prior to taking a motion for voting on those items? There being none, and no sense of unreadiness, is there a motion to vote on the finance items as one block of items?
Is there a motion to vote on the finance items as a block?
Motion.
Mr. Jackson.
Second.
Second by Mr. Rashid. Is the motion to vote on the finance items as a block? All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed or abstain? That motion carries. Motion to vote on the items?
Is there now a motion to call for vote on those items?
Motion.
Mr. Jackson.
Second.
Second, Dr. McCreary. Is the motion to vote on all finance items?
Prior to calling a vote, I just want to let the record reflect that all items that fell under the scope of program and instruction, which also included college programming, professional development, and pre-qualification solicitations, have been reported from our program and instruction committee at our last board meeting, and the recommendation from that committee was to move forward and formally accept and vote in favor of these items. That recommendation was voted and accepted by the board at the last board meeting. Please call for vote.
Very good. There's a motion to vote on finance items 1 through 47, moved by Mr. Jackson, second by Dr. McCreary. We're going to roll call. Mr. Hassan?
Yes.
Mr. Jackson?
Yes.
Mr. Lewis?
Yes.
Dr. McCreary?
Yes.
Ms. Perello?
Yes.
Mr. Rashidi?
Yes.
Mr. Selinger?
Yes.
Ms. Baskerville-Richardson?
Yes.
Finance items approved.
We'll now have public participation.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is the public participation portion of the meeting. Here are the guidelines for the board meetings. As a reminder, timelines for all speakers are enforced. There is no sharing or granting of speaking time to others. Speakers must be present when their name is called. Speakers are required to give their names and addresses. The public participation portion of the meeting is limited to 1 hour and 30 minutes. Examples of unacceptable behavior that are not permitted include but are not limited to naming district employees and engaging in personal attacks, slurs, excessive loudness, calling out, yelling, generally disruptive behavior, attempting to disrupt the meeting, or inciting others to do so. Public participation at these meetings is intended to allow the members of the public the opportunity to address the board and the administration on issues of public concern, not as a forum for two-way dialogue with the board or district officials. The superintendent's designee or the chair may respond to questions either at the end of the session, or responses may be provided at a later time. The superintendent's designee or chair may interrupt any speaker or terminate any speaking privilege if the comments are disruptive or obscene. An individual may be cautioned that a personally directed statement may be slanderous or defaming, and the individual may be liable for his or her statements. Attempts to hijack or filibuster the proceedings, repeatedly interrupting or badgering the board, repetitive or truculent speech, or other disregards of the rules of form are not tolerated and may subject the individual or group to removal from the meeting. And if necessary, the meeting may be adjourned.
Prior to calling the first speaker, I would like to give an opportunity for our school business administrator to report out on some concerns that were mentioned from a community member at our last board meeting in regards to spending for catering services. Madam BA.
Thank you, Chair Hassan. Members of the board, members of the community, General Counsel, Deputy Counsel, and Secretary. Might remember, those of you who attended last month's meeting, that one of our public speakers indicated that there was some $24,000 that was spent on catering for lunches and takeout and things like that. I was charged with researching that matter. Those items were identified from the district's bills list, and each of the vendors, we did some research, went back, pulled the actual check and the backup information, and that was shared with the board. Those items were, one, for all schools and offices, included things like, one of the things that we are obligated to do by contract is to provide meals for teachers on parent-teacher night. The bills list that was referred to was in fact the May 2nd bills list, which covers April payments that were in fact done for months like March and other months, including potentially some April dates. The specific ones that were pulled, we identified for the board the vendor, the school at which the function took place, the type of function, and if possible from the invoice or the paperwork, the number of people who were served. And that was provided to the board, I think, within the next week. We actually pulled all of the backup documentation, and it was available for board member review should they wish to do so. Any questions?
Thank you, Madam BA.
Madam Chair. Madam Chair.
Madam Chair?
I'm sorry. Mr. Chair. Mr. Chair, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Mr. Chair. Just before we go to public participation, can we just have a moment of silence for our Wickway student who was murdered 2 weeks ago? We just wanted to pay respect to our Wickway freshman who was murdered just a block away from the school 2 weeks ago.
Thank you, Mr. Lewis. First speaker is Pedro Alcivar.
Good evening. Good evening, advisory board meeting, or members. My name is Pedro Alcivar, and I'm a proud 8th grade student at Hawthorne Avenue School. After months of coming to these advisory board meetings, I know for sure that this whole process has been a scam. From the very start of our fight, we focused on the fact that our achievement was moving in the right direction. We made public the fact that we have met and exceeded our literacy and math targets. We requested that our school and its leader, Principal James, remain intact the way it was to get us to where we were. Promise after promise, I realized that I felt the entire time was true. The decisions that the superintendent made for the schools in the district, especially in the South Ward, were never about student achievement. Many of the adults that stood in front of students, microphones, and media never intended to help us or our community. Our governor and Commissioner of Education sat back and watched Cammie Anderson disrespect and humiliate and take advantage of the students and families of Newark simply because she thought she could. I want to go on record to thank my mother, who served well as PTSA president. My teachers, Mr. Fryer and Ms. Nigeria, for doing a great job all year to bring out the best in us. My principal, Mr. James, who took us in as his own children and made Hawthorne a place where we knew we were loved and respected. And finally, to Mayor-elect Raj Baraka, who was not afraid to fight for the right side, the side of the people of Newark. This is not the last time you will hear from Pedro Alcivar. I will not forget how adults let children down. I remember the faces of those who participated in the destruction of our schools by sitting silently. I cannot wait to see all of those who helped to cause or allow the pain that we feel reap their return. My name is Pedro Alcivar, Hawthorne Avenue School. Hawk Pride will live forever.
Next speaker, Najee Muhammad. Najee Muhammad. Najee Muhammad. Next speaker, Crystal Caceres. Crystal Caceres, Crystal Caceres. Next speaker, Matthew Adayo. Next speaker, Khadijah Bhatti. Next speaker, Charles L. Charles L. Next speaker, Janiyah Jones. Janiyah Jones.
Hi. Hi. Hello.
Excuse me, are you Janiyah Jones?
For today.
No, if you're not Janiyah Jones, I have to ask you to take your seat. Next speaker, Diamond Jones.
I'm Diamond too.
Next speaker, Akilah Haynes.
My name is Akilah Haynes. I will be a 3rd grader, and my sister will be a 1st grader at Harriet Tubman in September. I am here to ask you to leave my school, my principal alone. I went to another school, Adelaide L. Sanford Chartered School. When I was in kindergarten, I found out my principal was fired, and by the next year, our school was closed down. My mom asked me, how did that make me feel? Those feelings are back. Mr. Chapman cares about our students. Our school is a family. A family sticks together. When all our schools closing for no reason, where do that leave us?
Next speaker, Jelani Woods. Oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead, Ms. Jelani Woods, but after Jelani Woods, it'll be Jayla Hill.
Good evening. My name is Jelani Woods, and I am a rising junior at Newark Collegiate Academy, a charter school. I want to begin by telling you my story. I began the 7th grade at University High School. My middle school and freshman year were good. I had dedicated teachers and individuals I considered to be mentors all around me. My grades were excellent, and I had a solid group of friends to support me. 10th grade year was not as prosperous. For almost 2 months, I had little to no classes to attend and constantly changing schedules, and educators who were leaving for better opportunities in management. At that point, I made the decision to leave university for my current school. Newark Collegiate Academy is great and my teachers are awesome. However, we are suffering from an issue that I fear Newark Public Schools will be as well, an extended school year. My school is planning to begin the school year in mid to late August, only to end in late June. I want to begin by pointing out that this change is taking away from staff and student vacation time. I almost always create some kind of bond with my teachers, but there are times when we need a break from each other that doesn't last a month long. In addition, there are many students like me who take part in educational programs all year long. Personally, I am a student in the New Jersey Law, Education, and Empowerment Project, an after-school college-bound program that betters me as a student and an individual. However, there are days when I am forced to miss out on programming, which starts at 4 o'clock, because I am still in school. I'm even taking SAT classes during the month of July to prepare myself for the competitive market ahead of me when it comes to college acceptance. When school starts up again on a day like August 18th, this means that I have little to no vacation time during the summer at all. It is sending the message to me and my peers that we are being punished for bettering ourselves educationally. Also, having an extended school year does not improve academic ability. According to the studies done by the Economics and Education Review, for most students, there is no connection between academic achievement and extended school day or year. I can tell you from experience, it just seems to be a drag, and the only thing that you can think about all day is how long you have left in the day. I want to conclude by asking you all what you believe the purpose of education is. Should it only be a school commitment or an all-around experience? John F. Kennedy once said that the goal of education is the advancement of knowledge. However, it is becoming difficult for me to advance my knowledge because I am not given the time to do so. Instead of extending the time we are in school, we should put more work into the productivity of the classroom. Thank you.
Next speaker, Jayla Hill. Jayla Hill. Dawn Haynes.
Assalamu alaikum. Good evening, everybody.
Walaikum salam.
My name is Dawn Haynes, and I am a parent, an advocate, and a community leader. I am the PTA president at Harriet Tubman Elementary School. For the record, can Harriet Tubman stand up? We're in the building. Thank you. We care. We really do. I am a mother in an urban school district. I don't think you know what that entails, board members. When asked, can you work with Cammie? Your answer should have been no, period. Answer, we demand local control. The answer should have never been yes. She don't even show up to school board meetings because she complains because we yell at her. I don't know any responsible person that controls their anger when it's to the point that we're at. We would be less than human to not be outraged at the blatant disrespect we're going through in Newark public school systems. I pick my battles wisely. I try hard to maintain my humility while dealing with people who come across as arrogant. Arrogance, while have many doing things that they know is absolutely wrong and disrespectful, like passing a budget that is of no benefit to our urban school district, laying off social workers when we know our children are subjected to things like gun violence, domestic violence, gang activity, molestation, other behavioral things that need support staff to help them digest it. Instead, we lay them off. We disrespect them and not allow them to be heard. Cafeteria workers who see and know that some children need a little extra because that may be the only meal they get, their jobs get snatched away. Our parent liaisons who work each year, all year long, dedicated to building relationships that should be lasting for several years, only to be learned that they must reapply for their jobs. Security guards who are often the first responders who hesitate to respond to issues can be addressed and dealt with in fear of retaliation from people of authority. I know your authority as board members are little to nothing because she doesn't respect you guys at all, in case y'all didn't know that. You prove that every time we get up here and express our unanswered questions, our ignored concerns, and the arrogance of a woman who wouldn't speak to any of you if she saw you walking down the street, while her mission is to do nothing but to destroy our schools. There are mothers in urban school districts who care and is ready to go to war for the education versus profit that we're dealing with here in Newark. There are parents who are in the classroom assistants. There are parents who are in the lunchrooms assisting, school events assisting, fundraising assisting with PTA. There are parents willing to go to workshops and trainings and advisory board meetings to speak their concerns. Parents on the research team and research teams have been able to relate to the people and its social issues. That's not happening here. Because if it was, y'all would understand we have gang wars that's going on in Newark, and no child should be coming from one side of town, going completely to another side of town when there's a district school right there down the street from their house. We watch kids or intervene with children getting their cell phones and sneakers taken on a regular basis. Whether y'all believe these things happening, it are. If y'all take the opportunity to actually speak to a parent or two and not send the superintendent's assistants to actually speak to people, y'all would know these things. I went through the complete runaround to find out one question. Why is it being recommended for my principal to not come back in September when Mr. Chapman holds our school down? We don't have no complaints to Harriet Tubman. We ain't being redesigned, we not being renewed, we not being relocated. None of that is going on at Harriet Tubman.
I mean to cut you off, but the time is up. Can you finish your statement?
In conclusion, I'm gonna need y'all to leave Harriet Tubman alone, let Mr. Chapman keep his job.
Thank you, Ms. Haynes.
Thank you.
Next speaker is Kalila Frazier.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Kalila Frazier, and I'm one of the students of Harriet Tubman Elementary School. I'm here this evening to ask that you please don't take our principal, Mr. Frederick Chapman. Mr. Chapman is a very caring and supportive principal. He also teaches us valuable life lessons and how to conduct ourselves as young adults. That means a lot to us. Mr. Chapman goes out of his way to help each and every one of us, that is very special. So I would like to ask if you can please consider and not take Mr. Chapman away from us. Please, our school really needs him.
Thank you, Ms. Frazier. The next speaker we have is Jahari Taylor. Jahari Taylor. Jahari Taylor. Next speaker, Raida Kareem.
Hi, my name is Raida Kareem. I am in first grade in Mrs. Taylor's class at Harriet Tubman School. I don't want Mr. Chapman to leave because he made things happen like fun day trips and he let us have school plays. If we have a different principal in September, what is going to happen to our school? That is why I want Mr. Chapman to stay. Mr. Chapman is an amazing principal to me. Thank you for listening.
Thank you, Raida. The next speaker is Aljanaya Clark.
Good evening. My name is Aljanaya Clark, and I am a student at Harriet Tubman School. I chose to speak today because my peers and I were told last week that our principal, Mr. Chapman, is being dismissed as our leader. I think it would be unfair that we not have him anymore. I know the only thing in life that is consistent is change, but sometimes change does not need to happen, especially in our case at Harriet Tubman. We are a family, and we will not be if Mr. Chapman is not a part of our learning environment. He is not only a title of principal, he's an ear when I need him. He's open to our creativity and he's fair. I am tired of not knowing my aspects of my education. But one thing I do know is that Every day I walk into the building and he gives me a high five and words of encouragement. So today I am urging you to listen to children who is not just seen anymore. We are now in need to be heard. Keep our principles.
Mr. Chair, I wanted to wait till after the students finish, but now since we finished the students,
Mr. Lewis.
I wanted to make a statement on...
Could you hold your statement till we finish with public participation? This is to allow, public participation is to allow the public their opportunity to come forward and speak to us.
Well, I believe because my statement is towards the children and they do have to go home, to go to sleep, to do their homework. I believe I should have the opportunity to address the children. Am I right? Thank you. Now, as a veteran board member here, I would like to ask for this opportunity. Since I do know protocol, I've been here for 6 years under 3 different superintendents.
Mr. Lewis, go ahead and, if you could, make your comments like you said so the students can
I just wanted to tell the Harriet Tubman family, I've been meeting with some of the parents there, some of the students. I've been talking to them. Also had conversations with some of the staff there, and also been speaking to Mr. Chapman himself. And I think that at this time you need leadership that's not afraid to stand up with the people. And I'm not afraid. So I want to say to the Harriet Tubman family, whatever I can do to assist you or stand with you, I'm willing to do it 100%.
Thank you for the comments, Mr. Lewis, and as a board member, if I'm not mistaken, you are aligned with that assistant superintendent of that network, and we'll be working with them to make sure that not only Harriet Tubman but the other schools are well taken care of. Thank you. Next speaker is Christine Taylor.
Wait, is this still student?
I think you have me speak after the kids so we don't have to,
No. Only speakers that will be allowed to speak this evening are those who signed up for the meeting. Next speaker is Christine Taylor.
Okay, before I begin, is it on? I guess it's on. I want to apologize to Mr. Taylor. I want to congratulate him on his graduation, and I think last time I referred to him as Dylan Thomas, who's a great poet, and I think he writes just as well, if not better. But I'll remember Jordan. As has been the case for the past 5 years, the state-appointed superintendent once again is absent from a regular meeting of the Newark Board of Education. Despite her absence, there are questions that must be asked. Why does the state-appointed superintendent cultivate a culture in which decisions are made, evaluations are done, and actions are taken in a consistently arbitrary and capricious manner? What basis is there for a partially effective annual rating to be given the principal of a national blue ribbon school, which this year has been nationally determined to be the highest ranked high school in the city of Newark and one of the highest in the state? And even worse, this has happened to an elementary blue ribbon school, and the parents are here. What possible justification can there be for requiring the principal of the school, which has demonstrated the greatest improvement in the city, was one of the most approved schools in the state, to reapply for his job? And we heard about Mr. James earlier. The reason is because that school is being made a renew school, which is supposedly a program for failing schools. That leads to more questions. Why is this SAS creating more Renew schools? The ones that she has already designed as Renew have failed to demonstrate significant improvement. In most cases, test scores have declined despite select staffing, increased funding, and other special considerations. Research has demonstrated that perhaps the most significant factor in limiting student achievement is poverty. Yet the SAS does not lobby her boss, the governor, for full funding of our schools. And what funding she gets is spent on hiring friends and consultants. Here is why the SAS keeps making... If I were dyslexic, that would work. Keeps making more Renew schools. All Renew school staff must apply to return to the positions they now hold. This gives the SAS the opportunity to reward her loyalists and to punish anyone who has the audacity to have an independent thought. Those competent, effective educators who are not selected become part of the UPS pool. This pool has falsely been portrayed. The name itself has become a stigma, when in reality it is predominantly a group of individuals who, by misfortune, closing of schools, reduction in staffing, or malice on her part, have been identified to join this assembly of neglected professionals. The SAS takes actions which force more and more educators into the UPS pool and then hires Teach for America rookies rather than finding placements for qualified employees who are already in the district. Non-tenured administrators with multiple years of effective evaluations are told there are no positions for them. This is actually happening right now in the district. And the list of arbitrary and capricious action goes on. We know of administrators who chose to exercise their right of free speech to comment on the disastrous One Newark plan and have been given partially effective or ineffective ratings. Another administrator who exercised that same right still has not been allowed to resume her rightful role as a school leader. CASA also wants to know why, less than 2 weeks ago, with the end of the school year in sight, another of our principals was separated from her school with no reason given, but the SAS still isn't here to tell us. Yet another school leader demonstrated respect for the parents and community at her school, and she too has not yet been returned. I could list many more incidents which speak to the deplorable climate created for administrators by the superintendent. That would include those school leaders who for 2 years or more have not been given the opportunity to be in the schools and use their talents and knowledge to enrich the learning environment for our children and to share their experience and expertise. Many of those involved in the examples above, I have 5 minutes, as well as others have been deemed, and her team, as not worthy. Yet these same administrators who are on a consistent basis being offered same or promotional positions in other school districts. At the end of the year approaches, CASA is receiving calls from administrators on a nearly daily basis telling us about their decisions to accept employment elsewhere. They wish they could have continued and completed their careers in Newark, yet the hostile work environment, the unreasonable demands, the arbitrary decisions, the unfair evaluations, and the ongoing uncertainty have pushed them out. In summary, throughout this year, there was little or no guidance by the superintendent, and as she chose to wait until the end of the year to play gotcha with administrators, rather than working with CASA members during the school year, she chose to swoop down like a bird of prey and do everything in her power to destroy the careers of dedicated, competent individuals committed to the children and family of Newark. I ask the Board of Education and the parents of our school demand that this administration right the wrongs enumerated by above, to correct the injustices, and to stop the madness. Thank you very much.
Thank you. I just want to take a moment to recognize our student representative, Mr. Jordan Thomas. Congratulate him on his graduation today. Mr. Thomas, we actually bypassed the portion of the agenda where you were allotted time to provide your report because you weren't here. However, we will allow you to obviously give your report at this point in time if you would like to. It's totally optional and up to you at this point, sir.
I would. Thank you.
You're welcome.
First and foremost, I would like to...
Hold on one second. Can we please have order so that our student representative can provide his report? Thank you.
First and foremost, I would like to apologize for my lateness. Despite the fact that I was at my graduation, I feel that when you have business matters such as this, it's still a matter of coming on time. And so regardless of what held me up, whether it be a graduation or whatever, I would still like to apologize to you and to the board for my lateness, because that's something that I don't condone at all. So that being said, I'd like to begin. It is a sad day when that unfortunate time comes for any board member to depart from his or her current role. The solemnity of that day seems immeasurably amplified when you realize that, sadly, the board member departing is you. Before I take leave, however, I would like to thank all who have made my time as student representative the fruitful experience that it has become. I would like to thank every member of the board for serving as role models and guiding me during my time as student representative. When I first began my term, the responsibilities of being a board member were novel, with the potential to be overwhelming. Yet, the supportive and welcoming way in which I was accepted and instructed by every member was reassuring, and for that I am grateful. I also would like to thank Ms. Merritt and Ms. Deering, who served as constant sources of support, feedback, and information not only during meetings or functions, but generally throughout the year. In having a student representative, one of the most significant concerns is always in regards to his or her ability to balance the responsibilities of serving as an active member with the work of being a scholar above all else. With the aid of Ms. Merritt and Ms. Deering, that balance was never difficult to maintain, and I never found myself inundated with tasks that were excessively impractical. For that, I am thankful. Also, I would like to thank the amazing people of Newark. I cannot imagine a greater city for which to have had the honor of serving as student representative. You embraced me with unconditional encouragement and displayed an inspirational, unyielding tenacity by consistently attending these meetings. This city and its people truly are one of a kind. The work of a student representative is never complete, however. It is simply transferred and undertaken by he or she who succeeds the last student rep, because the fight for a just education is unrelenting. Thus, with the future in mind, I extend my best wishes to the next student rep, who I know will approach this wonderful opportunity with veracity and serve the city phenomenally. Nevertheless, though I may no longer possess an official title or position on this tremendous board, my ardor and devotion to this city, its people, especially its students, and its public schools is unwavering. Hence, I assure you that, though this is the beginning of a new stage in my life, in no way is this the conclusion of my advocacy and involvement in the Newark Public Schools District. J.M. Barrie, a Scottish author and the creator of Peter Pan, once advised, "Never say goodbye, because goodbye means going away, and going away means forgetting." Thus, this is not a goodbye, for I shall never forget the scintillating people with whom I had the honor of interacting this past year. Rather, consider this in until next time, and may that next time be in the near future. Thank you all, and thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Thomas. At this time, the board would also like to just present you with a small token of our appreciation for all of your hard work. Ms. Perello.
Jordan, for me it's a pleasure to give you this card on behalf of all of us. We all signed it, and it was a pleasure for Ms. Baskerville Richardson and I to attend your graduation. It was phenomenal. The way you spoke as valedictorian was tremendous. We commend you for all your hard work that you have done, and as the card says, your future will be bright. Congratulations.
Again, Mr. Thomas, thank you for your service and dedication, and best luck to you in all of your future endeavors. The next speaker we have is Ms. Marianne Adayo. Next speaker, Frank Adayo. He's not coming. Dorothy Shepard. Yolanda Cabrera.
Good evening. My name is Yolanda Cabrera, employee number 46046. I'm a first-year, fourth grade bilingual teacher at First Avenue School. I received a non-renewal recommendation by my school administrators, Kathy Duke Jackson, Ms. Finley Brown, Mr. Lopez, and Ms. Miller. The non-renewal recommendation was signed by Vanessa Rodriguez, Chief Talent Officer. I'm here to confirm this decision by you, the board. My question is, can I have the non-renewal recommendation confirmed by you, the advisory board?
Unfortunately, that's not something that we can do as a board. That is a personnel matter. That's not something that we can discuss here in a public setting either.
Well, it's from my prior experience that in order for this to, as my understanding, for this to have any validity, either has to be signed by the superintendent or passed by the board.
Yeah, unfortunately, we're unable to discuss personnel issues in this venue.
So, can you answer the question, is this letter that I received from your prior experience
Ms. Cabrera, you should talk to your union rep or your union counsel. You have a very capable union rep and union counsel. They'll deal with it.
No, I already did, but I just want to make sure that this letter, you being the board, has a validity and it stands as it is.
The board doesn't have personnel authority. That's what Mr. Hassan's trying to say, okay? You do have a process and you have rights, and your union counsel or union rep will advise you accordingly.
Well, I already been advised, but my question to you is, being that it's signed by Vanessa Rodriguez, can I take this? I'm not going to go to the
I can't advise you. You have to talk to your union counsel.
I already spoke to my union. I just want to confirm that this letter signed by Vanessa Rodriguez it's valid, so I can go on. I don't plan to go to the Donaldson hearing.
I think the issue she's trying to say is, you know, a number of board, we have been questioning her certification, so saying, she's trying to say is she's actually capable of signing a document saying that the position have been eliminated.
Does she have the...
Ms. Cabrera?
Yes.
Good evening. I'm Charlotte Hitchcock, General Counsel. Unfortunately, the board, as we've indicated, does not have personnel authority to speak to you about this issue. As our Deputy General Counsel has informed you, the General Counsel of your union will advise you and ensure that the preservation of any rights and obligations that you have as a union member, possibly against the district, will be upheld. So for the purposes of this evening, and I do understand what you're speaking about, which is a Donaldson hearing, I have to advise you that to preserve all of your rights, you do need to speak to the representative, the legal counsel of your union. They will advise the district of whatever direction they seek to pursue on your behalf.
Okay, but this is my question to you. I don't plan to proceed to the next step of Donaldson hearing. My question to you is, receiving this letter of the non-renewal recommendation, the signature of Vanessa Rodriguez, does that have any validity to this letter?
The question, the very question that you're asking, and I'm not trying to be at all disrespectful, and I'm not trying to be evasive with you. I want to preserve and protect your rights. I do represent the district. You, as an employee and a union member, have rights that I want to ensure that are not compromised. The very question you're asking, you need to seek the advice of your counsel, who will give you the direction that you should pursue if there is any remedy that he or she believes you have at your best interest.
I am not asking for any remedy. All I'm simply saying...
Ms. Crivera, but the question, and again, the question you're asking has legal implications to it. What I'm trying to advise you of is that, with all due respect for the purposes of the very question you're seeking, I have to refer you to your legal counsel. As the general counsel of the district, I am aware that every unionized member is represented by counsel. It is ethically inappropriate for me to not advise you to speak to your union counsel, who will give you every direction you need to pursue.
I already spoke to my union, and my question to you is, does this letter have any validity because it was signed by Vanessa Rodriguez?
Ms. Crivera, I have answered your question.
You refuse to answer the question?
Madam Counsel, I think the question she's trying to ask
Mr. Lewis.
I think the question she's trying to ask is the same question we all have been asking all year long. Is Vanessa Rodriguez certified or qualified to give out a notice of non-renewal? That's the question she asked.
That's exactly
So again, for the question that's been asked by Ms. Cabrera, we cannot discuss that matter here. Unfortunately, we have to move on to the next speaker. The next speaker is Ms. Grace Sergio.
Good evening. My name is Grace Sergio, and I am the proud parent of a Hawthorne Avenue 8th grader. I am here to present to you again and to represent the 350-plus committed parents of Hawthorne Avenue School who have elected me president of the top-performing elementary school in the district. As the school year draws to a close, it is important to look back and reflect on lessons learned. I am saddened to say that the lesson is heartbreaking and does not bode well for the city where I have chosen to live and raise my children. I have learned that Commissioner Hespy, State-appointed Superintendent Cammie Anderson, and Advisory Board Chairperson Rashawn Hassan has placed politics above personal integrity. Each would rather sell out the people that they are paid to serve rather than politicians. This is the year that I learned that politician and public servant are antonyms, not synonyms. Lesson 1, Hespy, Anderson, and Hassan are not interested in parent involvement. Attendance at community meetings doesn't count. March in protest doesn't count. Writing letters doesn't count. Complete school parent satisfaction surveys doesn't count. Complete school registration forms doesn't count. In the end, a deaf ear only hears what it wants to. Lesson 2, Hespy, Anderson, and Hassan are not interested in student achievement. Meeting state targets 3 years in a row doesn't matter. Achieving 3 consecutive years of academic growth doesn't matter. Achieving the district status of moving up doesn't matter. Ranking #1 in the district doesn't matter. Ranking among the most successful schools in the state at serving our brand of urban youth doesn't matter. Visiting a school and seeing something special happening doesn't matter. Hespy, Anderson, and Hassan are not interested what outsiders think about Newark Public School. It doesn't matter what the local press says. It doesn't matter what the national press says. When you are blinded by ideology, nothing else can hold a candle to it. Mr. Hespy, Ms. Anderson, and Mr. Hassan, savor the moment when you use a large city as your personal playground. Just as you are playing Newark parents and children as fools, private Wall Street investors are doing the same with you. History will show you foully. Unfortunately, until then, a child's Newark zip code will continue to determine his or her level of poverty.
Next speaker, Jamarius Nickerson Jean-Renoir.
My name is Mr. Nickerson Jean-Renoir, 146 Riverside Villa, Newark, New Jersey. I stand here today because I stand here as a representative for the thousands of teachers who have received notification that they have to reapply. As an educator, I feel that we should not have to reapply for jobs that we've worked so hard to attain. First, teachers are certified, trained professionals. We are people who have chosen amongst many other professions to stand as educators in this district of Newark Public Schools, where some of us have even graduated from. How could you say to a teacher who is also playing the dual role of social worker, psychologist, mother, father, advisee, that we have to reapply simply based off an evaluation that is jaded by administrators' interests, jaded by who you know and not what you know. So I say to you that even when you're deterring those of us from reapplying in this district and giving us a motive to take your seats that you have yourself, because as teachers in the district, we can't run for advisory board positions, but I can tell you that if we go with our expertise to another district, we can run for that same seat that you have up there. And it won't be a very pretty picture if we win. Donald Jackson just did it. Don't think we can either. So I say to you that before you start to point your finger at certified, trained professionals, teachers, come into the classroom one day and try to teach a lesson. Try to make a behavioral or instructional accommodation or modification. You'll fail miserably. Try to come in the classroom and deal with 18 students who half of have an IEP that says they need teacher assistants that you do not have. That says they need speech therapists that you also do not have. So before you try to criticize a teacher, try doing our job just 1 hour. 1 hour, that's all I ask.
Thank you, sir. The next speaker we have is Julissa Vasquez. Julissa Vasquez. Next speaker, Lauren Williams. I'm sorry, hold on, Ms. Vasquez is coming.
Hey, like my clothing? Before I start, I want to congratulate Barringer High School graduation. I just attended yesterday, Ms. Peretto, for attending too. And all the high schoolers who graduate 2014. Newark Public School, I want to congratulate Mr. Jordan for graduating. My name is Julissa Vasquez, and I'm against the One Newark plan. You know why? Because Cammie, you just arrived here. You don't know what these teachers been going through the years. They've been teaching our kids. They've been our advisors for our students. They've been having classrooms without books. They gotta buy supplies. You don't pay for that. They don't get this money back. You don't know the struggle that these students have when they come out these streets. When they go into a Newark Public Schools, they know that those teachers are gonna be there for them. You know why? Because they buy them food. They clothe these students. These new teachers don't do that. These new teachers from Teacher in America don't do that. You know why? Because they can't relate to our students. They ain't black. They ain't Latinos either, you know? So, you know what, Cammie? You need to first work from the outside instead of the inside and getting rid of our teachers and administrators. And I heard at the last business meeting that Kansas Street School is doing so-called great. I don't think so. No, 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 no. Let me tell you, board members, these students been having food fights while we have security guards and teachers just there watching them doing nothing. You know why? Because those teachers are afraid. They're not going to say nothing to those kids. They are afraid of those students. They videotaped it. And I was trying to look up the video on YouTube, but they edit the video because I guess they got caught. But they videotaped this all the time. I had a teacher that was putting a hand on my child, grabbing him out the classroom. My son comes up to me and tells me, Mom, this teacher keeps grabbing me out and grabbing through my arm. And I said, why is he putting a hand on my child? I had a discussion with the principal, and he said, well, I'm gonna let him know it's wrong. These new teachers don't know what they're doing. Stop giving these teachers a diploma and putting them straight into classroom, okay? Our teachers know what they're doing. That's why they have diplomas, okay? You need to put those teachers with our teachers so they can learn how you teach our students. And Cammy, you need to go. We don't want you here. I don't know what you're getting. You don't even attend the board meeting. We're sick and tired of you. We're tired. You need to go, pack up, I don't know, through an airplane, get out of here. Because we are not going to stand another year with you here.
Thank you, Ms. Vasquez. Next speaker, Lauren Williams.
Good evening. As we close out the 2013-14 school year, I think it's wonderfully fitting that we all stand in Westside's auditorium one last time. Like so many of Cammie's targets, this school has been set up, allowed, and even encouraged to fail Newark's children year after year. Let's face it, Westside never had a real shot at renewal because it wasn't properly supported. After all, how many principals has Westside had in the last 7 years? How many veteran teachers have fled and been replaced with TFA alums? Does that sound like a stable learning environment? All of this is by Cammie's design. In addition, this building houses, or rather housed, the now defunct Newark Evening High School. The last class in our 88-year history graduated on Wednesday, June 18th. And less than 2 weeks ago, evening seniors were practicing for graduation in this very auditorium. They're the lucky ones, because unfortunately the rest of our students are in limbo. Let me remind you that staff and students have yet to receive further instructions from central office, despite the board's assertion in May that Newark Evening was moving to West Kinney. I ask, where are the boxes if we're moving? I'll personally walk you to the office and prove it. You'll see a ton of records dating back to the 1920s waiting to conveniently get misplaced. Paper records where only one copy exists in the world. I ask, why fix something that ain't broken? Why start a new program with the same hours and classes we offered? Why EWOP our principal if we still exist? It's clear that the district doesn't know sugar, honey, iced tea about the finalized plan for Newark Evening. They've had over 7 months since announcing our closure, and as of today, the much-hyped letter to students Brad Hagerty promised hasn't been sent. I ask, when is he going to send it? We had finals the first week of June, and our seniors graduated last week. I wish I was joking, but it's more Cammie as usual. And you know what? It's your fault too. As a board, you've sat back and watched as our resources and necessary programs have been eliminated. At the same time, silently witnessing the lavish spending of an incompetent administration on consultants and catering. An administration that spent a minimum of $55,000 on catering for March, April, and May this year alone. Parent-teacher conferences occur twice a year in November and February. Should we believe the district is still cutting checks in May for this food? Ultimately, speaking at these meetings isn't enough because you just don't listen. It took until nearly June for one of you to send an email about Newark Evening's fate. What follow-through? I urge you just to think about what side of history you want to be on, because Donna Jackson and I are launching a blog next month. That way, people don't have to take our word for it. They can see it in black and white. The citizens of Newark will finally bear witness to the information you've been sitting on while programs like Newark Evening become past history. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Williams. Next speaker is Donna Jackson, followed by Frida Barrow. Donna Jackson, followed by Frida Barrow.
Thank you. Good evening. Down to Jackson, 128 Smith Street. Well, once again, Mr. Hassan, my friend. Sir, please don't try to hijack our resolutions that we're so pointedly waiting for. We do clearly understand, if nobody else in this room don't, what side of the fence you have joined your line on and where you stand. You fully support Ms. Anderson. Don't sit up here today trying to pretend to be the friend of the people, staff, and children sitting in this audience. The same effort you gave at Hawthorne Avenue, you should have given to all 15 schools that Ms. Anderson was trying to close. But because you want to be cute, take pictures with her at Sussex Avenue, take pictures with her at Newton Street, I'm trying to ask you, what kind of relationship is that, sir? Doesn't look too good to me. I wouldn't be standing smiling with a superintendent who is destroying schools in my community. It don't look good. You can go on Facebook tonight, put whatever excuse you want to up there, but it don't look good. No words from you or nobody else gonna explain your cheesies every time you standing with this woman who is destroying the children, staff, and families of my community, sir. And if you want to continue to stand with Ms. Anderson, you will be standing with her on the unemployment line from that seat right there, sir, because we're not going to tolerate it, Mr. Hassan. You are the leader of this district. It is clear from every speaker that comes up here what we want, what we demand. If you can't toe the election line, get your ass out that seat. Get out the seat, because we are giving clear direction. And I checked with the FCC, that ain't no cuss. It's in the Bible. It means donkey, and it applies to you. Okay, sir? In case there's any indication of what you want to write up about Ms. Jackson. Clear, Mr. Hassan, because it is clear what you and your two cohorts are clearly doing. And just soon as legally we find out what we can do about you going against the public trust, we're going to do it. Soon as we clearly understand what action we could take against you. Because we are not going to be disrespected. We are not going to let you make election promises and then turn around and do what you think you want to do. Because it ain't about you, sir. It's about our children. It's about all 40,000 of them. It's about Newark. It's about Newark public schools. It ain't about these charter schools. They got their own board. They got their own issues. We don't want to hear it. It's about us moving forward. I am ashamed of you, Mr. Hassan, that you, as you think you're walking across this district with Ms. Anderson, I guess posturing for governor or mayor, you ain't gonna never get neither one of them. Let me be clear. But you did not take the time, sir, to go to Roseville Avenue School, who is number two in the region, not in Newark, in the region in test scores. A school that is not failing at all. A school whose children are all in advanced proficient or proficient, and you're allowing those 300 children to be forced into schools that score significantly lower than they do, Mr. Hassan. If you want to posture, bruh, you want to play politics, you better play it even. Because in this game right here, it's called foot the butt, bruh, and my foot is on your butt.
Thank you, Ms. Jackson. Next speaker we have is Frida Barrow, followed by Deborah Smith Gregory.
Good afternoon. My name is Frida Barrow. I am a resident of Newark, New Jersey, and I have worked for Newark Public Schools for 15 years. In all of my years, I have never felt so very disrespected, disappointed, and disgusted as I have this year. Absolutely no professional courtesy has been given to Newark Public Schools staff. At George Washington Carver Elementary School, where I work, the staff still has no idea who the administrator will be in September. We have no idea of where we will be next year, for that matter. Though we've watched as Team Thrive and Seek had movers come in to assist their teachers in packing their classrooms and moving the boxes, those of us who work for NPS get none of that. We are left to recruit our family and friends to assist us with this monumental task. According to the One Newark plan, people should have been notified by April as to where they will be in September. If I, as a teacher, do not meet my deadlines, I get written up as labeled ineffective. And those behind the who's writing NPS and those who are behind the One North plan up for failing to meet their deadlines and creating undue stress in the lives of their staff, students, and parents. For too long as staff, we have complied with every mandate given us, no matter how ineffective we knew it would be. When we speak out against injustices that go on in our schools, we are silenced or our cries fall upon deaf ears. Is it too much for us to ask that we be treated like human beings? For we are human beings, not data points. We are a community, not noise. We demand the halt of One North plan and the resignation of the state-appointed Superintendent Camby Anderson and local control of Newark Public Schools. I came into Newark Public Schools with my head held high and on a mission. And when I decide to leave, it may be with tears in my eyes, but it will be with my head still held up high, because I stood up for what is right and fair and just. This One North plan reminds me of how families were torn apart during slavery in America. It is also reminiscent of the Trail of Tears when Native Americans were driven off their land and those who survived onto reservations. We are Newark. We must continue to stand together and believe in Newark. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Ms. Barrow. Next speaker, Deborah Smith Gregory, followed by Annette Alston.
All right, let's go, Ms. Gregory.
Deborah Gregory, Newark president of the NAACP. Cammy Anderson must go. That's the first thing. She is dividing and conquering. She is attacking the schools. She has attacked Hawthorne, Harriet Tubman, Science Park, University, Newark Evening High School for 3 years. Now, last year before last, the parents protested from Camden, Chancellor, Mount Vernon. And Miller Street. She still renewed, redesigned, did whatever she felt that she wanted to do to these schools. For 3 years, we have waged a battle against the haphazard policies of the superintendent. Is it just mean-spiritedness? Is it emotionally disturbance? Or is it racist? It's one of them. This is not a South African Bantustan. Newark residents are saying repeatedly, free Newark schools. Free Newark schools. She's pulling people from buildings and hiring new people on top of the people that should have the job. She's paying 2 people for 1 job. How much money is being siphoned off from the schools in addition to hiring the consultants and the raises given to senior staff? For example, the $60,000 raise given to Gabrielle Wyatt as a normal career progression. Where is this money coming from when Newark is experiencing such a large deficit? We are in pain, and the board is getting ready to get fiscal control. Fiscal control. We have been told don't play the race card, but we are being attacked by the governor, by Hespy, by Anderson, and the chair is folded in. The disrespect that the governor has repeatedly spewed for the Newark residents is clearly racist. He has had 122 town hall meetings, not one. Not one in Newark. Not one. You're getting control of a budget that has been poorly managed. Again, I say, this is not a South African Bantustan. We need you to do whatever it is that you can do. I don't know what that is. We sent a letter to you. The organization sent a letter to you that we sent to the governor. Cammie Anderson's contract expires June 30th. There is absolutely no reason why this board should not evaluate her and say that she is unfit and that she is less than effective, deficient.
Thank you, Ms.
The Board of Education,
Gregory.
one of the reasons why the Board of Education was taken over by the state is because you didn't evaluate. That is one of your roles and responsibilities, to evaluate the superintendent. That's one of your responsibilities. We need you to do your responsibilities and not, we're getting distracted because sometimes racism can still be played with colored faces.
Thank you.